remember, if you want to say something during this, say it. Don't, just talk. You just need to talk. If you have something to say, then say it. But anyway, hello, people on the YouTube. It is I, your Lord and Savior, the Memphis XLR8, world's greatest Yugi tuber and second greatest Pokemon player guy. Today, we're doing something a little different. As of recording, I'll be on vacation while this is going up. So we're doing something I've been wanting to do for a while. Pokemon main games tier list. We're going to be deciding which games are good and which games are just absolute garbage. With me are a triumvirate of people. We've got, of course, Exile, who is one of the game devs of Pokemon Terra Nova. If you want to say hello, Exy, so people can hear you.
Greetings.
Greetings. Yeah, there's that guy. That's Exile. His favorite Pokemon is Bruja. He loves that thing. Yes. We have everyone's favorite degenerate from the Mushroom Kingdom, the Shamario.
Yes, I am the greatest degenerate there ever was.
Yes, we recently learned he doesn't like mushrooms, despite being from the Mushroom Kingdom. Total disgrace. No wonder he was shat on as a child. And then last but certainly not least, we have everyone's favorite undead cosplaying cat, which is the Necrolink Kitty.
Hello.
I ran out of funny quips to say, so yeah, there's Necrolink Kitty. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get right into this. Never done a tier list before. Well, not with other people anyway, so this ought to be interesting. I mean, I've done them on myself, but I've never done them with other people. Yeah. Okay, just be gentle, please. Please be gentle with me.
Be harsh.
Oh, okay. So anyway, beginning right away, we have Pokemon's Red and Blue, and honorary shout out goes out to Pokemon Green version. So how would we rate the original Pokemon? Obviously, this is one of the. Yeah, this game started everything. This is the game that started everything. This is the game that said, okay, this is how Pokemon goes. Catch Pokemon and balls, beat gym leaders, become champion, catch.
I like Pokemon.
A tier, you say?
A tier, yeah, A tier.
You would want that high, wow. Gen 1er indeed.
I like Gen 1 a lot, but I think it would be like C.
I see. I mean, I think
it's extremely flawed.
It does have a lot of big, yeah.
But it is the origin and legacy of the entire Pokemon.
That is, finally, that is exactly what I was thinking. Like, it sets up a good precedent for the whole series as a whole. It's got good basics. It does have some flaws, like some major flaws. Rap and Hypnosis are completely broken in this game, and so is the Psychic types. Yeah, those guys are just completely broken in general.
Their only weakness was Bug, and all the bugs are also poison, which
are weak to Psychic. There you go. So so how do we even beat Sabrina? How do you beat her? It's just pure luck, pretty much.
Level 100 Nidoking.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Level 100 Nidokings. That's all you need. So there you go.
Or missing no.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, so
wait. You can't use Missing Note, Ryan. For love of God, you cast Missing Note, crashes your game.
Yeah, and then Sabrina loses because she's dead. So yeah, I think
I caught it once. I don't think it crashed my game.
As long as you don't use it, it doesn't crash your game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just setting the bar to C is okay with Red and Blue, and as well Green, because it's good precedent. It has its flaws, but it's a good game overall. As an aside, I would say Pokemon Blue is better though, because you can actually catch Mew in that game.
We can't catch in Red?
I don't think you can. Or maybe you can too. Well, I've only ever caught it in Blue, so I'm going to say the Blue is better. Anyway, moving on to Pokemon Yellow version. Now, clearly this game it's the same as the other two. It's same as Red and Blue. It's a little better in sprites, and you do get the Pikachu that follows you around. And there is some better, like the colors are a little different, I think, if I remember correctly. So
I want to give it a B, but I still think it should be a C. I don't know.
I would say B because it's the first game made following Pokemon, I think.
I'd say a C, higher than.
I would say, yeah, it's definitely better than the originals, but just a little bit. It's mostly because of the Pikachu.
Yeah, I want to give it a B, but I don't think it deserves it.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Moving on, we have Pokemon's Silver and Gold. I'm gonna put this in S and we can move on. So anyway, we're gonna be on to Pokemon Crystal version. Okay, I'm joking. Anyway, so
I mean, I agree with that.
okay,
I say B. I say B or A.
all right. Well, I'm gonna splooge a bit because this is my favorite gen. Pokemon
Yeah,
Silver and Gold does so much to make the game. It's such a vast improvement over Red and Blue for a lot of different reasons. The sprites are better. The colors, everything's colored differently. Not everything in an area is the same color. You'll have green grass, brown roads, blue water all at the same time. You got, a whole bunch of new Pokemons, lots of nice new Pokemons. A big improvement as well. In the original Pokemon, you couldn't tell what a move did unless you just used it or like an NPC told you. But in Silver Gold, they actually, you can click on a move and it'll say what it does. So it's just it fixes a lot of the issues with the original game.
My favorite?
What? Go on.
It added dark types.
It added dark. It balanced the game.
Yeah.
It got it balanced psychic types by getting rid of their it gave them a major weakness. Bind and hypnosis were fixed. It just improves on everything. I mean, you might say that not every Silver Gold.
In that game, actually.
Yeah, Lugia and Ho-Oh, just iconic legendaries.
I like the dog.
And the dogs. The dogs are also very they're a pain to catch, but they're really cool.
It's the only Pokemon game that ever added 2 regions.
That's true. It is technically this is like the biggest Pokemon game. You have to battle through 2 regions worth of gym trainers.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
And
So
tougher in the original versions were like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
plus-
say A or C.
plus-
Or A or S.
My
Yeah.
only issue with it was that it was too easy.
it did get a little like in the second half. It is too easy because they don't raise the bar of the trainers in Kanto.
Going hard.
So once you destroy Johto, it's like the Kanto gyms are too easy.
My favorite thing was actually fighting from the original game, the NPC from Red.
Yeah, Red. The battle against Red is pretty good.
Now where was the Silver?
Yeah. So it's just it's got a lot of good points. It's got a few bad points. Where are we putting it?
A or S.
I mean, as much as I want to put it in S, it's definitely not an S. I would say either a high A. Oh, high A. Okay, a high A will put it. That's setting the bar pretty high for the rest of the games in the series. Okay, but we'll put that as a high A, potentially lowers later, but for now, definitely A tier game. Now, how about its sequel, Pokemon Crystal version?
Well, that's pretty good too. I have to say A or B.
I'll say it's just weird to sound. I like S tier for that one.
Oh, is it because there's a girl NPC in this one?
No, not just that reason.
Oh, not just that reason?
Can I tell you why? Can you at least explain why
Yes.
I like it?
Yes.
I like it because you can actually catch Suicune without chasing it over the fucking place.
Well, yeah, that is a good point. If you get the secret item, then you can't. This is the. Actually, I think this is one of the. No, there's like you have to have like an item. There's like a crystal bell or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but
the
to
thing
make it
is,
easier, all you would need is that one move to make it.
like roar or not
they
roar,
can't run away.
roar. I mean, look, yeah, but yeah. But I was going to say is like of all the Pokemon main games, I think this is the only one where you can catch a legendary early on, like legit. Because red blue you have Mew. What's in Emerald?
Emerald had you catch Rayquaza before you faced the 7th or 8th Pseudopolis City Gym.
Yeah, but that's like way later though. This is like 4th gym.
Yeah.
In fact, you can catch Suicune before the 4th gym. So it's this is like the only game where you can catch a legendary like super early.
Main series, yes.
Yes, main series. Anyway, so pretty much the same as Gold and Silver, but with a few added things. Didn't they have like slightly moving sprites too?
They had animations, yes.
Yeah, they had animations. They moved. This game added so much. You had moving sprites. This was the first game you could the Silver and Gold had shinies too. Oh yeah, that's another reason for Pokemon Silver Gold to be, up in A, because they added shinies. But yeah, also you could change your gender for the first time in the game. You could be a boy or a girl for the first. You had choices in this game. There's choice.
Yeah.
So it definitely deserves to be up near, the predecessors. Is it better or is it worse than Silver Gold?
Yeah, I think it's the same, honestly.
I say better. So I don't know. What do you think, actually?
I think it's the same.
What do you think, Exy? I'm on the.
Yeah, I'd say they're about to.
Yeah,
I'd say they're about the same. I mean, it's basically gold silver.
I agree. It is a nice little addition. It's the same with like Pokemon Yellow, but it's not enough to say it's necessarily better than the original. It's definitely about the same. Still a really good game. If I found one of these at a yard sale once. I was so bummed when it didn't work. I would play it again if it wasn't so damn expensive to find a copy.
What, Crystal?
Yeah. All right, next up we have Pokemon's Ruby and Sapphire. Now, good old Gen 3. Necro is saying beard. All right.
I think it'd be A or B.
Okay,
Sure.
why?
It improved a lot. Better graphics for one.
I mean, the graphics were all right.
They're mostly, well, it was the first Game Boy Advance game for Pokemon. Besides, like.
Yeah, they did have some nice graphics. Trying to think, it was.
A ton of more Pokemon.
Yeah, but you couldn't port Silver and Gold over to Rubies.
Yeah, they actually added the end game, the Battle Frontier.
That's in Emerald.
Yeah.
That's in Emerald. We're talking about Ruby Sapphire.
I think
I thought it was
I like it because what's the thing called? You learn Braille for the first time. Oh, no, they never introduced Braille ever.
Yes, Pokemon with Braille. That's massive improvement. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was cool, but like that's not like a major thing for me.
Well,
I would say that, okay, in my opinion, Ruby and Sapphire are really good games. You got a nice collection of new Pokemons, nice designs there. I love the starters. The starters are very well developed. I am very much a Mudkip fanatic, I will say. Mudkip is supreme. One thing I didn't really care, like the evil teams you have here, like Team Aqua, Team Magma.
What do you mean?
What was their like? They were a bunch of idiots. What was their one of them's trying to evaporate all the water on the planet. The other one's trying to drown everybody. Like, did they put any thinking into their plans there?
Where's the third evil team?
I don't think there ever was one, unless there's one in Emerald.
I don't know what either.
So yeah. So. One other thing I'd have to say about Ruby Sapphire that brings it down from A tier for me, and this is a personal thing. I didn't really like Steven as the champion.
I agree with that.
I like champion.
I know, but he's as champion that's a monotype or mostly a monotype is just bad. Like, yeah, he's got some rock Pokemon to deal with, fire types, but that's about it.
Well,
he's
from Gen 1.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the problem with Lance, though, is that there just weren't that many dragons in Gen 2.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think they added a dragon into Gen 2.
He was in Gen 1, wasn't he?
No, he was Elite 4 in Gen 1. He was champion in Gen 2. Come on, Necro. You're supposed to be doing a tier list. You should know these things.
Was he really?
Yes.
I thought Lance was champion in Gen 1.
No, that was Gary.
Oh, yeah, he was a champion before he faced your rival. That's what it was.
No, he used to be the So anyway, are we okay with putting this in B tier?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I would say in mid. I would say mid.
A tier because I like the base building they added too. That was pretty.
I mean, base building was okay, but they were too small. So let's go ahead and put this as a mid to high tier B tier game. It's a pretty good game. It's not quite as good as its predecessor, but it's still vastly better than the original. Oh, and it added natures. So it really added to
abilities.
And did it add abilities too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Two abilities.
Did you say dive? We don't. What about dive?
Yeah, it added underwater.
Yeah, and they never did it again. And they never did it again. So, okay,
Yeah,
because of the
that's-
natures and abilities things, I'm gonna bump this up to a high B.
Wasn't it like I could've
Because
sworn
it
that
added a lot
Gen
of
2
complexity to
abilities-
the game. Alright, so next up we have Pokemon Emerald. And I'm gonna let you guys decide this one because I haven't actually played Emerald.
You really?
I have it and I just never got around to it.
That's my favorite.
I know
I
that
like it more than
I know
Ruby and
this one is
Sapphire.
I know this one is I know this one's praised a lot, so I know it's good. I never played it as much.
Well,
It's definitely
I'd say
better
A tier at
than
least for
Ruby
me.
Sapphire. It's
Above-
basically Pokemon Yellow, but for Ruby Sapphire,
around
essentially.
for me as well.
Okay. So
Oh,
I know this one it also
I
it's
have to
the
say with S.
you want to put this in S? I mean maybe. But why
I like
are we
A.
putting this in S?
Or not S, I mean A, sorry.
Oh, come on, man.
I meant,
It also
I meant to
is
say A.
I say
arguably one
high
of the
for me.
coolest
I think
legendaries.
it's
Say again, actually.
Arguably, it also has one of the coolest legendaries.
Rayquaza
Yeah,
is
Rayquaza.
definitely here's the big question though. Is it Rayquaza or Rayquaza?
I hear Wayquaza a lot.
I don't know.
I think it's pronounced Rayquaza. I mean that
Also, Emerald added endgame, like Battle Frontier.
yeah, yeah,
so-
the Battle
Remember
Frontier.
that?
I know everyone's like, oh, the Battle Frontier. Everyone says the
Oh,
Yeah, I
Battle
said- I said
Frontier.
A.
All right, we'll put it in A tier, but is it better or worse than Silver or Gold Crystal?
I say.
I don't know, I can't
middle.
decide that.
I go middle.
Want to say
Yeah, maybe
them?
middle. Yeah.
I mean, there's no. This is. We're
Yeah,
just gonna
no,
put
this
this in
is
A
not
tier.
Silver.
We're gonna put this definitely as an A tier game.
Okay.
You know, improves vastly on Ruby Sapphire, one of the coolest legendaries in the game, yada yada. All right, so next is a big one. We have Pokemon's what's this game called again? Diamond and Pearl, that one. All right,
Okay.
people praise
Okay,
this game
cool
a
design.
lot.
I love
So-
the cool legendaries. I love this game.
Did you guys know that Palkia is dick shape?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. If you look at it closely.
I'm not looking closely, but anyways.
All right, but yes.
I like legendaries in Diamond and Pearl, like what Uxie, Azelf, and Meta Spirit.
Just discount Muse.
Well, okay, whatever, Memphis. Anyways, I like them. Giratino's a cool legendary. Darkrai, which you couldn't get in the main game unless you went somewhere and got it. I'd say.
All right, let's keep going. Okay, so this is definitely more than a
put
C.
it at like C because I feel like it didn't innovate
What?
much.
What?
C tier.
Yeah,
I
B-
think that's
B-
a little
I say
low.
B or C,
What?
because it's good. It's good. It's not that good.
Hmm.
I think.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
let's look at
I'll
the
say-
whole thing. I mean, it definitely
This one
you're,
is scandalous.
it is super
so-
scary. Let's put it in D tier. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. That would
No.
that would definitely
No.
piss people off. Yeah. But let's look at it for real. Actually, has a good point. The game does not innovate that much. There's a lot of like little mini games and things like the digging mini game
Yeah.
added in. But like in terms of actual gameplay, it doesn't add a lot. What adds into this is things like, you know, you have the nice new Pokemon. You have things like Empoleon, Infernape, and whoever the third one is. You know, everyone loves the third one.
What was that? No.
The grass one. Yeah.
Torterra.
Or Tata, yeah. So you had really good starters. You had really good designs. The legendaries, again, are really cool. The story pacing is very nicely done. A lot of really
Story's
good
in
gym
there.
leaders and things. And you had Cyrus and his whole, you know, recreate the world shtick. But one thing we have to remember is, you know, the big elephant in the room, and that is Cynthia, gym leader. One of the most iconic battles in all Pokemon is Cynthia and her
is
mother
my
flipping
favorite.
Garchomp.
She's my favorite waifu.
Does she have two?
She is
Garchomps or
the. She had. I mean, it would be terrifying if she had two Garchomps. I mean, she has.
one? I could have sworn
She-
Brian
no.
Diamond had two, I think.
No.
Cynthia is the reason why the game is not D tier for me. She puts it to a C.
She definitely boosts the whole game because she is. She's such a well-designed boss in Diamond Pearl. Her
I
team is
noticed
challenging.
something
Garchomp is a monster, and she kicks butt.
I didn't
So,
think of this one now, but
I have
imagine
to.
if-
I can't put it in a C. I'll put this as a low B, and I'm a little iffy about that in of itself, but I just can't put it any lower than that. Yeah, but
Diamond
you
and
know,
Pearl remakes definitely suck.
we're not there yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. The remakes come later. We had to get the originals first. So first, now we got platinum
Okay,
version.
S tier. S tier.
Really? Okay, explain
I don't
yourself.
remember anything.
Hold
I
on,
don't think I
hold
played
on.
that
Let
Platinum.
Necro cook. Let him cook. What do you got to say for yourself?
So I like. For me? Okay.
Yeah, you. You're Necro.
So, okay. Anyways, I like the distortion world,
Uh-huh.
the changing forms of gear team, like what, like origin form and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
There was so much post-game stuff compared to Diamond and Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
The story, I think, was the same.
Yes,
I think.
it was.
Yeah, something else to it. I just can't remember what the last thing was. There was something else to add to it. I can't get my finger on it. No, you can see it. I just can't remember what it's called.
I don't know if those are reasons enough.
No.
You could buy a house. You could buy a house. It's very expensive.
Yeah, you spend so much money.
It's like the most expensive thing in all of
He's got some good
Pokemon.
points.
I
I don't
would.
think it's S tier. I think it's
It's definitely better.
A or B.
I would give it 1 rank over Diamond Pearl. Just
Yeah,
for the
it's-
extra, the
yeah,
better end game.
It does have a better end game, and you know, the distortion world, while it is just like it looks cool, you don't really do anything there except catch Giratina and then never go back.
It's different.
But it is different. It's
different.
oh yeah, you got different character models. Like you get like a coat, if I remember correctly, because it's like colder in Platinum.
Champion was still the same as Champion.
Actually, I think they made Cynthia easier in the sequel. I can't remember though. I think I heard something like that once. Like they made her slightly easier in the sequel.
Actually, is that true? So you play Diamond Pearl. Is that easier play Platinum, or is it easier playing the?
I just can't remember. I think they
Original,
changed her team a little bit,
I can.
but I can't remember exactly how they did it or what they did. But anyway, yeah, Platinum's good. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely not like S tier. I'm sorry, Necro. It just can't be done. One cool
I'd give it low
Pokemon,
A.
you'd give it a low A. Oh, explain yourself. What are you thinking, Exy?
There you go, okay.
Give it a low A.
Well, like I said, I feel like Diamond and Pearl is like B or C personally.
Yeah.
I do think it improves on those. But yeah, it still doesn't really innovate that much in terms of gameplay.
It
So,
don't. No.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a B at least. But A or B, yeah. A or B is good.
We'll put it as a low A just to allow Gen 4 to have a win there. Now, this next one's one we need to talk about in depth. This is Pokemon Black Boy and White Boy.
One. First one.
E?
There's 2 black and whites, remember?
Yeah, we're getting to that later. It's over. See, this is
No.
black and white too. This is black and white. They're 2 different games,
I'm
Necro.
saying,
Okay, but
so-
we're talking about black
I
and white, the
know.
original.
I
What?
played it, but I don't remember.
the original has so.
I played it, but I don't remember much of Black and White.
Oh,
You don't remember the.
oh.
Well, I like Zekrom, and I
Um,
remember Zekrom.
I mean,
like,
my
so
biggest
cool,
thing
like-
was going to be about story, but let's talk about the game in depth. So, black and white is a bit of a weird one. You know, we got some decent Pokemon. We do have lots of them moving sprites now. You know, we're moving up. Graphics are trying to improve with all the new system, but you know, there's still. I remember them being a little blocky with the animations in this game, if I remember correctly.
So I like.
There were some very memorable
So,
fights, like I remember Lenora, the normal gym leader. She might have been the first normal gym, if I remember correctly, or maybe the second. I don't remember.
No.
But
no,
oh, I know
no,
there was
second,
Ruby.
'cause
Yeah,
Emerald
okay, she was number 2, but she was still a really good gym leader.
Norman.
And one of the things that really hit me with Black and White was the idea of the evil team. You know, in the other 2 games, you know, the other 3, we have, you know, Team Rocket, just steal the Pokemon, make money.
Yes.
You had Ruby Sapphire, annihilate the world for no good reason. You had Diamond and Pearl, destroy the universe for no good reason. But then you get into Black and White 2, you have Team Plasma, you have N, and their whole the whole shtick was, you know, if you truly loved your Pokemon, you wouldn't need to keep them in Pokeballs. You know, release your Pokemon to show that you truly love them. And it introduces this idea of a moral dilemma in Pokemon that never had been there really before. Now, granted, the story ruins this, like the first town, when there's like a couple grunts kicking a Pokemon to death, or like close to it. I think if they were trying to get the dream with stat of Muna, but Yeah, if they hadn't done that, if they were just like harassing it but not kicking the thing, I think they could have saved that bit of the story a bit. So in my mind, this is definitely better than a C. It's at least a B. And yeah, Zekrom and Retromem are awesome. Alder is kind of forgettable as a champion. Like, he's okay. He's got a crazy. He has Pokemon hair. He's got anime hair. I'll give him that. He's got crazy anime hair. The Elite Four were interesting, I guess.
The three swords. Swords of Justice are pretty cool.
They're okay. I mean, they're okay, I guess. They're just kind of. I mean, they're kind of like discount Suicune and Entei.
Kyurem was cool.
Oh yeah, Kyurem was kind of cool. That's true. So, in my mind, this one's a B. But like, well, the question is, how high of a B?
I say B, Sun and Pearl. I say B, Sun and Pearl.
I'd say low B.
Oh.
Low B. I mean, I can see that.
I
Again,
don't remember
it doesn't
anything about this game.
like it doesn't introduce
gonna-
anything new or crazy to the series. But I do like the story elements of it. I love the idea of Team Plasma. You know, it's mostly N in the end of the day, but I like the idea of making a moral argument for Pokemon in a Pokemon game.
It does not change in combat wise for me. From
Yeah,
Sun and Pearl,
yeah,
but, like,
the
there's
change
one I
in
liked
the
about
change in
those, I
that'll
guess,
come. The change in that'll come.
So the change thing I liked was actually when you go on like the water like tunnel thing. Remember that? When you see the water tunnel,
No.
you don't remember that? There's
Yeah.
a water tunnel, and then you see like the water Pokemon swimming all around you and stuff.
Can't say I remember that part, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
And next up, we have the sequel, and I think this is the first. No, we've seen other sequels. This is Pokemon Black and White 2.
With two
I never
in it.
played 2, so I'm not gonna put my 2 cents.
So I guess we'll have to put the haven't played category. I'm joking. So Pokemon Black and White
Fusion
2.
system.
It was certainly that is a bit of an innovation. You know, we have this idea of fusing legendaries together into different forms. That was pretty cool. I'm trying to remember. I haven't played Black and White 2 in so long. I have to remember everything about it. I would.
There was everyone were legendary. I forgot there was a trio. I forgot. I think they're in this game.
Yeah, they had
Tornadus?
Cabalion. No, the Tornadus and Landorus and all them are in there too. Yeah. Sorry, actually, you were saying.
I'd say our first D tier.
Ooh, D tier. Harsh. What makes you say D tier?
Ah, man, I feel like the story did not resonate with me. I feel like the Pokemon designs for the most part were kind of uninspired. I feel like the story really dragged on. Like there was some pacing problems with this one.
I can kind of see that. I kind of like the evolution of Team Plasma in a little bit, because they went from like these holy knights preaching the word of release your mons to, you know, they threw, you know, once they were able to get around that and be like, okay, we don't have to pretend no more. They just straight up become terrorists, and they did basically nuke a city. So I kind of like that aspect, but
really?
yeah, they got a giant ice cannon and they froze the Dragon Town, which is
that's right.
like
That's right.
they had to have picked that on purpose. You know, ice type versus dragon. There you go. Like I have to kind of agree with Exy on this one, that the story wasn't as great in this one. It really isn't as memorable as the original Black and White. You know, like I said, it was mostly the whole moral thing that made Black and White memorable to me, at least. And it is nice to see it like a direct evolution in Black and White 2, but doesn't really hit as well as you'd like. So we're gonna put this one in. I'm gonna put this as a high D. I'm gonna put it at a high D, just for my own sake. Also, I like that we have a nice little step ladder going here. This was not intentional, but there you go. All right, next up we have.
Okay, so
What?
I just realized you don't have Pokken on here.
Because
We're just doing the main games. We're just doing the main games right now. Side games will be another time. That'll be a different day. But right now we have Pokemon X and Y. For some reason, I only have an X on the icon, but there you go. So, oh boy, this one was not. This one was not good.
Like this one, I say C.
What do you mean it's not good? How is it not good?
It just wasn't that good. It was very
Can I say
confusing.
something?
Yes.
So this is the first Pokemon game I think that ever had introduced like what 3 or more rivals, like AC.
Oh, it had so many rivals.
Yeah, it's like rivals gonna be your best friends and stuff.
I mean, I thought that made it interesting.
Introduced like more best friends, like
There was like
think like what, like think of Sword and think Sword and Shield, think Ultra Moon, whatever. Every other direction after this was like, okay, why are they trying to be my best friends? I like being like Gary Oak and like
yeah, I know. Well, we'll get into that when we get into Sun and Moon with like rivals. But it actually, you had so many rivals. Like they weren't even really your rivals; they were just your buddies. But there's just so many that's so forgettable. You had like there was
kind of weird.
Oh, well, we'll get into that, but we're on rivals for now. We got freaking. There was the guy who liked. There was the guy who liked what?
Megas.
The game added megas. I
Well,
like
I'm
megas.
getting to that, Jim. Come on, we're focused on one thing at a time. All right, you know we had too many rivals. You know, there was the guy who liked to dance. There was the guy with the Pokedex. It was Shauna, who I don't even remember her motivation. There was then the other NPC characters. That's like four people to pay attention to. Not great there. The starters were kind of. Who were the Chespin? Bleh. Fennekin? Bleh. Oshawott? Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely up to this is definitely the weakest lineup of starters so far.
I like Fennec.
Where was
the only one.
Wait, did we even talk about Embor? I forgot to talk about Embor earlier, I think. Tepig. Yeah. Screw that guy. Anyway, so yeah, the starter lineup's not good. The rivals are not memorable. Yveltal's cool. And like the legendaries are still cool. You know, yeah. Oh yeah, Froakie. Okay, Froakie does make this at least slightly higher than.
I like Fennec. Fennec's good.
Meh, it's just a Firefox.
I like Froakie because protein was pretty.
I mean,
good.
Froakie's just like Froakie, you know. Everyone loves Froakie. He is Froakie.
Cool.
He's just Froakie. Okay, but other than that, let's see what else. Yeah, Mega Evolution's been introduced. That's probably one of the better gimmicks Pokemon's ever done. In my mind, you know, you get these certain fully evolved Pokemon that you have spent so much time with, and then you can evolve into this further state. You know, it's fairly balanced. You know, you can only do it for one Pokemon once in the battle. So
yeah,
I thought it was
Mega's
awesome.
My favorite gimmick too.
Megas are cool, so it's definitely not going at the bottom of C. We're gonna agree to that. But there's other things to bring it down. But for now,
I'd say Beer A.
Definitely not A. It's definitely not an A tier. There's Yveltal, the Death Bird, and then there's Xerneas, the deer. Ooh.
Zygarde, remember?
Yeah, that's Pokemon. That's from Pokemon Z, though.
No,
I'm joking. That was never a Z, sadly. But yeah, Zygarde was. He was kind of cool. He turns into a Megazord. That's all I remember about him. And he was a Megazord Pokemon. But yeah, there's something else. Yeah, that Shamari brought up. The team. What on earth was with that team?
Team Flare?
Team Flare. Okay, so you got Lysander. Seems like a pretty chill dude. His whole shtick is he wants to like better the world using this ultimate weapon, which will, you know, kill all the Pokemons at the same time. So, pretty nutty guy. But, you know, he's got like this kind of, he's got that nobility sort of thing going. He's the villain who believes his own shtick. But he's not like evil, you know? But that's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is what the hell was wrong with like his team? Like they were a bunch of like weird fashion like nutcases. They were all talking about, oh, look at my suit. My suit is so fashionable. Oh, like, oh, my boots are so sparkly. Like, what was the theme? Like, it was so weird. Like,
I don't know.
it was so good. I guess it's like only rich people join Team Flare. I just said that, Shem. Come on. It's just weird that Lysander had this noble goal of like bettering the world, and the rest of his team were just like, look at my shoes. Look how sparkly they be.
Look at him.
And the admins from his team were like the most forgettable people. I straight up was thinking about this game the other day. I could not remember who the admins were. And then I remember it's just those scientist girls who like, who are they? I don't know you.
Oh, no, really.
Exactly. So, how do we rate this game? It innovates good with Mega. Mega evolving is definitely good. The legendaries are good. The rest of the game just feels like a mess.
Yeah, the starters bring it down, but the megas bring it up. I think the rivals bring it down.
And then the team brings it down. And
the team brings it down.
the graphics. I mean, this was. Oh yeah, this was the first like 3D Pokemon game too. And it was choppy.
I guess
It wasn't
CRB?
bad, but it was choppy. So
I say seared. I don't know.
No, actually,
That-
the first 3D Pokemon game was Pokemon that Gale of
No.
Darkness.
yeah, and that
We're
one
not
still
there
had.
yet.
Yeah, but that still had like better graphics than X and Y.
I feel like I would put it low C or high D.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
I will, for the sake of all Mega Evolution lovers in the world, I will not allow X and Y to drop below the lowest of C rank games. Just for that, just for you, Mega. What Mega did we never get? Mega Dunsparce. Mega Dunsparce. It's all for you, buddy. Okay, what's next? These are not quite in order, but let's look at another.
I mean,
Let's look at another one of these.
It looks like.
Yeah, we'll just do this in order, whatever. Sun and Moon version.
I hated this game. I played it a little bit, and then I stopped playing because I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was a bit hard at times, but there was a lot of things going on in Sun and Moon. Just
I didn't think it was hard. I just don't like the fact that they got rid of the gyms.
well, here's the thing you have to remember is that it's part of the story that there's no gyms. You know, this is not like a main island sort of thing where like, you know, the whole gym concept has been around forever. This is a tiny isolated set of islands that have never had gym leaders. They've had their whole, you know, kahuna thing for like generations. They're trying to evolve into having gyms and into that sort of thing. So
I actually
the fact
like
that it
the challenging thing like that. I like that stuff. So I like when you like do like what
you had to go fishing.
be the gym leaders or the island challengers or whatever. Then you gotta fight like island like totem thing, and it's like harder for like Pokemon. You actually can capture that thing.
You
Is
might
this the
have.
game that introduced regionals, or did it just popularize them?
Oh, the
What
what?
was that?
Introduced regionals.
Oh yeah, the regional
Yeah,
Pokemon. This was
the
introduced in
regional
this.
Grimer, Meow.
Meowth,
Persian.
Rattata, things like that. The Donald
So that
Trump.
gives it bonus points.
That
Oh,
does.
yes.
It also has a Pokemon that looks like Donald Trump, so that probably earns it an S tier. I'm just saying.
No.
Fine.
Tier.
There is no F.
I say B. Like,
Ah,
like
let's look
I
at the
say
rest of the
I say-
game first before we go into B tier. So, yeah, it's very different in the whole. You know, they're trying something different. It thematically fits. It's so different though. It just feels kind of odd at times. And
It feels off, but I want to give it credit for trying to innovate in a completely different direction.
Mhm.
Like, that's brave.
that is very true.
Yeah, it did
You also
try
have to
innovate,
remember
I'm-
something else is that this game gives you Guzma, and Guzma is awesome. He has one of the
Yes.
most banger
I don't
themes in
even-
the game, so definitely going above a C tier automatically for
I don't
Guzma
know
theme.
what that Pokemon is.
Guzma is the leader of Team Skull.
Oh, I don't know. Fucking.
See, you didn't even get to the good part of Sun and Moon. Get the hell out of here. Anyway,
I
so
like the story. I like how they try to innovate with the gym thing. Even though it didn't personally appeal to me, I appreciate that they tried.
yeah, it was different, but it was
Yeah,
like
I like the regionals.
it was cool. And yeah, the
Yeah,
regional
so
was good.
I think it's like a low B.
But one thing we do, well,
No,
there's
I
a
think it's a
couple. There's a
B.
couple things we need to talk about. Actually, I think the one thing is in the next game. So yeah, one big thing with this game that I hated was Hop, or was the name Hop
No,
or
they're like Sword
How
and Shield.
or whatever? The rival
Sword
in
and
this
Shield.
game is the most obnoxious character in any Pokemon game. I hate him with a
Hop?
passion. Not
Hop
Hop.
is in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, what's his? See, I
Was
don't
this
even
the
remember his
game?
name.
Was this the game where you could find like the super adult versions of Red and Blue?
The super what versions of what?
The adult versions of Red and Blue from Red and Blue.
Oh yeah, they were in there. I think they were in Sun and Moon Ultra actually. Yeah, I think they're in the next games if I'm not mistaken. But they're in one of these. But yeah, I never liked the rival. Is all I'm trying to say. He's like the guy was just way too happy, way too nice. Like I preferred Gladion so much to that other guy. Gladion was a good rival because he actually pushed me to fight like good. And Type Null was interesting of a Pokemon design. It really fit Gladion's character. But no, his name was How. His name was How, which is so close to Hop, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I never liked him. But definitely, this game belongs in a. We're gonna call this a B tier game. It innovates in a way that, you know, it's nice. I hate the rival, but that's just a personal thing. And you know, it's got some cool legendaries too. You know, Lunala and Solgaleo are cool. And there was that nice twist near the end where, like, I don't want to spoil it, a game that's like what 10 years old at this point, but you know, the fact that Team Skull was not the final boss was actually kind of neat. I like that. All right, we're almost to the end of it. How long is this video now? Okay, it's not as long as I was hoping it was.
Did you guys rate it?
We're putting it in a B tier.
I don't think it's B tier, but alright.
You never played enough of it.
You're beating it.
Yeah. So next we have Next we have the evolution of Pokemon's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Okay, can I say my spiel first?
Sure.
I do not. I'm going to give this a D tier.
Why is that?
For one reason only. So it kind of like copied what was it, Black and White 2 with the fusion thing.
Yeah, that's true.
When you get the Crozma and the legendaries.
Yes.
And also they I did not like the Ultra Wormhole thing.
That's fair. I didn't like the Ultra Wormhole either. Like, yeah, tempt me with legendaries from every generation, but make it so annoying to grind it and do it. So that is true. I also remember the final boss. I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was this game had the really unfortunate boss fight against Lusamine, where she combined herself with a Pokemon. And I thought that was so cool until I realized it was just a normal Pokemon battle. Like, if you're going to have the lady combine with a freaking Pokemon, let me fight her, not her team. I already beat them up. The only one of those Pokemon that was any good was Pain-Splitting Beware anyway. That thing was annoying. Other than that, her team was like garbage. So, I honestly, I think I need to agree with Necro. Oh my lord, this might actually be... I'm gonna put it above Black and White 2 though, just because. If the game will let me. There we go. XC, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, I agree with that. I think it's just a little. Yeah, I like your placement.
Yeah, I think it'll work. It's like, it's just kind of eh. It just doesn't do anything that like really special, and what special it tries to do is like whatever. But it does have Adult Red and Gary, so it at least belongs above. Yeah, they what?
Was like all the old gen leaders in there?
No,
too?
I don't think so. Maybe.
It was.
I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't remember.
No,
Anyway, next up we have Pokemon Sword, Shield, and unfortunately, there's none for gun version. So we're unfortunately lacking in guns. So,
Yeah.
personally,
I'd go A or B.
I say B. Because
I really like it.
the first switch.
They innovated a lot.
innovated in what way?
They tried to do. They tried to do like open world, more. You know.
Yeah, they had the nice. This was the first open world Pokemon game. I'll give you that. Even though the graphics were kind of garbo. You know, it was.
You can,
what?
You could see other players in the open world too.
Yeah, but you couldn't interact with them really.
You just see them. It's pretty much it. So
yeah,
it's
but
like.
you can do the raid battles.
Yes,
so.
but you see them actually open world part. You see me talk to them. Hey, I am so and so here. Has some food.
Yeah.
You can't ask them to play or.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that
I
was kind of-
I like the DLCs for Sword and Shield more than the base game.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what they do DLCs for, is to prove on it.
No, the Pokemon is the first ever Pokemon game with a DLC.
There you go.
So
It's the first game that was so. It's the first game that was so bad at the start they needed DLC.
Well,
All right, but you were saying, actually.
I think this is the game where I first felt that they were pandering too much to children. Like, it felt really.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
definitely,
This-
Like so much for. so much so it was like a disconnect for me. Like it really turned me off the game.
I agree. This game
Yeah,
was
that is
so
true, yeah.
easy. I tried nuzlocking this thing, and like I didn't have any sort of challenge until the champion. Like the rest of it was so mind-numbingly easy. Like I felt like I was having my hand held the whole game.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah,
like
open
it,
world
but
is
you
cool,
definitely- yeah.
but the textures were choppy and just like, you know, it felt rushed. The textures in the open world, Gigantamaxing. I mean, it's
I
okay,
don't really care for that.
but it's like
Yeah, that
it's
was
not.
also
It wasn't.
probably my least favorite gimmick.
Discount.
Yeah,
I like
they
Megas
just
better.
get bigger.
Discount Megas.
Some of them
Yeah.
like change, but for the most part, they're like whatever, you know. So,
Mm.
is there any? I
Yeah,
mean,
B or
I mean,
C.
the sword, the sword, the Pokemon, the legendaries are okay, I guess. I mean, oh yeah, and then there's like Swordbert and Shieldbert. Yeah.
Who was it? Legendary name? I forgot.
Zacian and other guy.
Those two. There's also that one that was like a.
Oh yeah, Tornadus, which was like, where did he even come from?
I don't know.
He just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Oh yeah, that was another thing about the story. Like, did anyone have any trouble figuring out the bad guy was Director Rose?
No.
Exactly. You know why? Because frickin' Bede, like, basically said as much, like, right at the start of the game. He's like, oh, the director's having me collect these stones that are, like, super powerful and stuff. Why? Answer, because he's evil. Well, not evil, but he's just another one of those misguided folks. So, I just didn't like Sword and Shield. It was boring.
I like
The
DLC.
characters,
Yeah, it was easy, but I still liked
the
it, though.
characters were just so like meh. Leon was the only like Leon's like he's a good like what do you call it, champion. He had a pretty competent team.
No, I
I-
like his team. I like his character. Like, I'm
That's because he
crazy
kicked your
about
butt, and you know it.
No. I
Why?
beat the game, Memphis.
I know, but how many times did the champion beat you?
It's one trot Memphis. It's easy. All you do is you water Pokemon. Everything else is weakness. Come on.
No, it's
Charizard.
more than that. He's more than Charizard. Although one thing I really liked about Leon is that he uses whatever starter that you and Hop don't use. That was kind of
Yeah.
neat. It was a nice thing to see that. Oh, and Hop is just kind of like meh.
Yeah,
Oh, but then-
I hate that.
Yeah, who cares about Hop? We got Marnie. Marnie time, baby. So anyway, what are we rating this abomination?
I say C or D. I don't know which.
I think
way
B
to-
or C for me. Probably C.
I say end is C or beginning of D.
I don't know,
I'd say low C, high D, but that's just me. I'm a bit harsh on it, I think.
I am very harsh on it too. I'm gonna put this in D tier. Now, the question is it better or worse than Ultra Sun Moon?
Worse.
Worse. What about Black White 2?
It's been middle, honestly.
Yeah. We'll cut it some credit because Marnie's in the game, I guess. Anyway,
They did try
Pokemon.
to innovate a little bit.
Yeah, they did it wrong.
Oh, the best
Okay,
game
so
ever,
next we
right?
have Pokemon's
E.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
F.
D tier.
There's no F.
There is no F.
There should be an F.
Screw you. I'm not altering the thing right now. But yeah, this game was.
Is this the first E tier?
This is the first D tier. Listen, this is literally just Diamond and Pearl if they added the end game of Platinum. They didn't
Yes,
change
I
the
agree.
game at all. They didn't add anything. They shibified everything, which is really weird.
I like
And it's just
chibis. I don't
boring.
like the actual.
Like they could have ray traced it or so. They could have made it look nice at least.
It was so buggy.
There's so
remember
many.
when
Oh yeah, there was,
when
I mean
got
every new game.
basketballs?
I mean we'll get to bugs when we get into Scarlet Violet, but yeah, for frick's sake, people waited 15 years for this game to come out, and they botched it.
You know what's-
They could have just driven up to the Diamond Pearl player enjoyer's house to, put an axe in their front door and like flip them off. It would have been more productive than this. So yeah, I could not put a good name on this at all. Okay, so getting to something that might give us something better, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Memphis hasn't played this game for
I haven't played this one, no. I know this one's open world too.
Open world Legends Isle inspired kind of game.
It's inspired
I
by the
liked it, I
past.
liked it,
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I liked it, and as funny as that sounds, you know, I love Zelda.
Yes.
Name it hence name.
So this one is contentious for me. So I don't like the open worldness, but I appreciate that it's there. I also feel like what most would consider the core of Pokemon, which is collecting. I think this game does a good job of promoting that.
Yes.
Yeah, the clock-
So even though it doesn't appeal to me personally, I would rate it high.
I would
Yeah.
too, because here's the thing: like the catching in this game feels a lot more like catching would be in real life, because you're like, you know,
Yeah.
sneaking through. Like, why would I just battle everything when I can sneak up behind you and chuck a ball at you?
You still battle it, but like,
Yeah, you can battle it. It's just more involved battling, because like
Also,
it kind of reminds
added-
me. No, go ahead.
They added crafting and side quests.
There you go. It adds side
well,
quests.
They're crafting Gen 2.
Did they? Oh yeah, the
would say
balls.
no,
Apricorn.
Saying A potentially.
Yeah,
Something I would
say.
like to point out, because the Pokemon can like attack you in this game, is it reminds me a lot of the manga, where there's that element like the Pokemon can attack the trainer. So
Okay,
I would
that's
say
my
that this
thing.
game is definitely very well made.
You keep it there, but let's do my thing first.
Go ahead.
The thing I like about RCS was they added like obviously added like evolutions to the mons that we wanted for a while. Like for example, they added like what Scyther's like I guess middle evolution, I guess you call it, with
He had a
Kleavor.
middle? I thought that was like an
Sneasel too,
alternate.
right?
Yeah, Sneasel has like an alternate evolution with
Kleavor.
long arm version.
What was it called though?
Super
Yeah, I remember
Super
his name was
Sneasel.
for that
Yeah.
one. They had Braviary's evolution. It was like a Hisuian
Bigger
version of it.
Yeah, they had like the
a
ancient.
new-
Well, they're basically the
based
ancient
on
versions.
forms.
Yeah. So it was a nice
Yes,
game.
and they
I like
also had,
the
like,
world
they
building,
had-
and there's a lot of the side quests. The open world is nice. You know, it's got its thing, and the catching feels very. You know, I like the catching aspect of Pokemon. So I think
Organic.
it's very
catching.
organic, exactly. So
Yeah,
we're-
and
what?
they instead of making it take place in the modern era, sorry.
Yeah, it's in the past. We know.
A tier. I say above
So
platinum.
we're gonna say in A tier, above platinum for sure. But
Are
how
you-
far
I
are we
can't
going?
believe
Is
you're
it
not-
going above emerald or
Manifest is
anything?
lagging a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
sorry.
recording this, so it's
I'm
alright.
recording. Stop being BDD. Stop it. All right, so
I think I would put it above Emerald.
ooh, Exy's being bold today.
I really like Emerald a lot. I don't know if I like.
All right, so
Let's
so
put there,
far,
let's put there.
Yeah,
far, Pokemon's peaking early at silver and gold. All right, well I'm fine with that. I'm a Gen 2er. I'll admit it freely.
Southern Violet,
All
I
right,
say
next we
C.
have the very
I say
interesting
C.
Scarlet and
What?
Violet. All right, now this game. Oh
Well,
boy,
We don't. It's gonna be different because like it's difficult for me to say it because
S tier.
I think we don't know what
I'm joking.
the future is.
Yeah, we didn't get to go to the future. What the heck?
Gonna be for that game is there's supposed to be a DLC.
We'll
Maybe
find
they'll
that
do
out
it
later.
in
Right now, let's take a look
DLC.
at the game as it is now. Necro's desperately trying to defend this game. Let's look at it
I'm
all
trying,
realistically.
but,
Like, there was very few new Pokemon added to this game, unless you're talking about like alternate forms, paradox forms, whatever you call them. This game was glitchy as hell at launch. Like, people were backwards jumping over mountains at the start of the game. The gym leaders, unless it's the water. Okay, there is Larry. Let's not joke around. Larry is in this game. Larry alone boosts this game. It's not a D tier as much as we could say it. It's Larry is there. There is the Dunsparce evolution. We're just giving us more reasons to put this game up high. The story was split in a way that it gave, there was different aspects to different story. You had the thing with Team Star. Another instance of a team that wasn't really evil, much like Team Shout in Sword and Shield. But I like Team Star a little bit more.
The Team Yell actually get it right.
Whatever, who cares? They were the most boring team in the series. Team Skull was more interesting than Team Yell. But yes, I can't rate it too high. Like I said, there's very few new
Lechonk.
Pokemon.
Lechonk.
Screw Lechonk. I'll eat Lechonk.
What?
I will eat him.
I liked it a lot.
Weed cat.
I have to give it an A or B.
Weed
so.
cat.
Who's Weed Cat? Oh, you mean Meowscarada. You
Yeah.
frickin' furry. Anyway. One thing that was always weird to me, like, you're riding around a legendary the whole game. They turned the legendary into a bike. They turned the legendary into a bike.
The bike was terrible. The bike wasn't even running that well. Like, it was like lagging so much we went online.
It was a weird. I mean, Koraidon just kind of like, it's weird with him, because he doesn't even roll around on this weird stuff. Like, what is the thing on his neck for if it's not a wheel? Does he like?
And how about
It's
that
weird.
one Pokemon you get,
Oh yeah,
that green one. What his name was?
you mean Cyclizar, the middle version, because these are like the paradoxes or whatever.
But that wasn't though. It's weird.
No, Cyclizar is no, he's the modern version, and then these two would be the past and the future versions of that Pokemon.
But could you imagine this? Hear me out. Okay, so we're talking about Sun and Moon, right? The thing about they had like Cosmog could evolve into the other version of the game you don't have. Or whatever. What they made Cyclizar evolve into the opposite version of a game like Scarlet, you get the Violet one. Or
No,
whatever.
we don't need to have Cyclizars evolving. Then they'd be all over the place. Let's see what else. Actually, actually, did you play Scarlet Violet?
No, I can't weigh in on this one.
Can't weigh in
I know
on
that
this one.
It had like a buggy launch or whatever, and I think it
So
kind of
does.
expanded
Like,
on
Yeah.
the whole like open world kind of thing, which is good, I guess. But
Yeah, the open world wasn't bad. It was just glitchy as hell. And like I said, there's very few new Pokemon past the starters. The starters are okay. The legendaries are okay.
Like 100 or something.
It's not that many. And also, I can't remember half of them, so there you go. Plus, like I said, the gym.
They add like 100 every new game.
Yeah, but can you name 5 from Scarlet Violet that are not starters or legendaries?
No.
There you go. I did like those. I did like those secret legendaries that you find with the stakes. That was kind of cool, but it's hard to state this one for me personally. There was a lot of little things you could do in the game that was neat. Being able to travel around was cool. I don't want to put this as a D tier. I would put this as a low C. That's me personal.
I'd say B at least.
No.
I mean, give me a reason to put it to B, Shim. Give me a reason.
They innovated.
In what
That's
way?
why.
In what way? Yeah.
What was
They
the
made the
innovation?
open world a little bit better. I mean, yeah, sure, it was a little glitchy, but
I don't think that's enough to put it to B. I'll put this slightly above X and Y just to placate you, but it's not going into B tier. I'm sorry. All right, next we have Pokemon Coliseum. We got the last few games. Let's wrap it up quick. So Pokemon Coliseum, we'll put that. What's that, Exy? What's that? I hear
easy S tier.
easy S tier. I was about to say this. I was about to joke that, but yeah, this game was.
I was gonna say A or S.
This game was like this came out way back with Ruby Sapphire, and yet the graphics are amazing, the story's amazing, the combat's amazing, everything about it is amazing.
So much.
I mean, they have the.
It came out on the GameCube, right?
It was on the GameCube for frick's sake, and it's so iconic. It's crazy. This game is amazing.
Better than Scarlet Violet's graphics sometimes.
I mean, it's better. Like the open world, it even has slightly open worldy look to it anyway, and it's so much better. This was out in Ruby Sapphire, yet the 3D in this is better than in black and white, in X and Y, in Sword and Shield.
The GameCube is more powerful than the.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
But yeah, this is it's just amazing, all around game. Characters are awesome. It's
also you're Team Rocket.
Team Rocket's in here.
You're kind of like Team Rocket. You're stealing people's Pokemon.
Well, yeah, but you're doing it for the right reason. You're stealing them from them from being evil. You're the good version of Team Rocket. You're the good guy version. Okay, so easy, S tier, no complaints here. How about the sequel, XD Gale of Darkness?
Wait, go ahead. Don't say some of the Coliseum before we did that, that's fine.
But it's already an S. You want to bring it down?
No!
Okay, then shut up. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. What do we think of this one?
Shadow Lugia had like 83 Shadow Pokemon in it. That was, I think, S tier still. No, wait.
We have some doubts.
I love XD so much,
Uh-huh.
but
Oh.
it's the same like the answer is like double the size of Pokemon in the game, the shadow ones you get.
Uh-huh.
But they
They didn't really change much.
changed a lot. They changed a lot. The only thing they changed to XD and they Coliseum had it too, I think. I can't remember. But the Mount Battle.
Oh, they had the Mount they had a Mount Battle, that's true. So this game is pretty much the same as the original, but slightly, you know, they didn't innovate too much. They just added like a thing or two and a different story. So what?
Weird.
What?
Sorry.
Tomorrow's mic's acting up. Of course it is. All right. So what do we want? What do we want to put this as? Do we putting this as S tier or a high A?
Yeah, S tier, definitely.
S tier.
S tier.
Below Coliseum though.
Below the original, but only just. All right. Next up, we have Pokemon.
They did have XD and Coliseum did have the best villain besides the main villain, Mirror B.
Oh yeah, Mirror B is in there. That's true.
Oh yes.
I remember Mirror B. I know that guy. All right. Next up, we have Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, a remake of the OG Red and Blue, even though it's green version. I mean, it's basically the same as the original. It's just a modernized version of Red and Blue. Is essentially what it is, but it does bring in, you know, all the original stuff, but it keeps the feeling of the original. So, I would say at least a B tier. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, definitely better than Sun and Moon though. Definitely better than Sun and Moon. Just a bit.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't innovate so much as it, you know, it brings a classic into a new light. It makes it, you know, available to new players. Same sort of thing I would say for Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I would actually put this below the originals a little bit
Well,
because
I'd say that's an S though.
Why?
Why?
I'd say that's an S.
how is Heart Gold, Soul Silver an S? Explain.
Please explain.
Explicando, por favor.
Cause
No, yeah.
it's way better than the originals.
How so? Well, I can kind of see. Well, I don't think this is what. Okay.
Pokemon, more stuff to do.
Like what stuff?
I don't remember what was in Heart Gold Soul Silver to begin with.
I mean, isn't it the same as the original?
The only new thing in the game.
Well, it does have abilities and natures and stuff. The graphics do get an improvement. I really didn't care about the following you Pokemon thing in Silver Gold because it doesn't really add anything, but it's okay, I guess.
The only thing I didn't like about Heart Gold Soul Silver, the only thing they changed Heart Gold Soul Silver to me was Kyogre, Groudon, or Rayquaza.
Oh, you can get them in the game?
Yeah, versions you get. Then you get like the There was something else you get too. I think Voltress or Zapdos. I can't remember what it was. It was something weird.
Okay. All right, Exy, you got anything on this one?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
All right, so where are we putting it? Is it an S tier game or a high A?
I guess at least A. At least A, I guess.
Yeah.
I sit behind.
I'd say high A.
I will
low S.
put it right there with the others. Damn, Gen 2 was just
I think it's definitely
beastly.
better than the originals.
All right, so next up, we got 2 games left. Let's get it going. We got Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, this game is definitely S tier.
How? Okay, how so?
You Gen 3er.
Oh,
Well,
he's one of those.
you can actually fly around on your Pokemon.
Okay. I mean that's cool, but
Like that.
you could do that in Sun and Moon too. I think.
Yeah.
Really? I never
Pretty
played
sure
that.
you could,
Why?
or maybe you couldn't. I don't remember.
Yeah, but that game came out before Sun and Moon, right?
Okay. Okay. Other than flying around is cool and all, but how does that add to the game?
Only.
Go ahead, Chim. I
I
mean,
really like it.
okay, so it's just you being a fanboy. Got you.
I say A.
I mean, how do I put this?
I know I hate doing that, but like
I would put it in B or I would say B or A. It adds Mega Evolution to the Ruby Sapphire franchise. It brings it up modern as always. It doesn't really improve like the teams in any way, although Archie does get a major glow up. What else? And it is kind of nice that they combine it with Emerald in the sense that you have the post game story with Rayquaza and Deoxys and all that good stuff.
Yes, that was the
Riding,
coolest thing
riding Rayquaza into space to fight an alien with a giant space dragon is definitely amazing.
Yeah, that was cool.
And Rayquaza being the only Pokemon that can Mega Evolve without a stone was pretty neat, and his Mega Evolution was really cool too. So, what do we say about this one?
I would put it
Hey,
ahead
sure.
of the original, so high B.
High
low
B
A.
or a
Yeah.
low A?
Oh no, A. Yeah, sure. I'd say it's better than Emerald.
Can we say you haven't played
We're
that
gonna
game?
put it. I'm gonna upset somebody with this, but I'm gonna put it up there. We'll put it up there. Damn. A lot of there's a lot of good
Yeah, that's
Pokemon games, and then there's this shitty one. Anyway, last game. Well, technically next to last game because I got a secret game to put on here. We
S tier
have
for sure, S
Pokemon
tier, oh, yeah.
Pikachu. Oh yeah, of course. Actually,
That
hold
one is
hold
E
on.
for
It's
me.
right here.
Oh my god.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
so let's go Pikachu and Eevee. Absolute garbage. Absolute
Yeah.
trash. I mean, for one thing, do we need another remake of the originals? No. Do we need to have a box in our pockets so we never had to go to the we never have to go back to the
Do we need-
Pokemon
can I
Center
say this?
ever?
I'm not defending this game,
Oh, the heel.
but
What Necro? Tell
the
us.
only thing I like
Tell us.
I like the originals better than this game.
Yes.
Mostly because I hate to go. You know, I don't play Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Mechanics, like,
Yeah, having to throw the ball with the remote is just dumb. What else? What else can we insult about this
Yay.
game?
Everything.
pretty much everything.
Yes, I know you get the Go Ball thing accessory, which I did, which I don't know why I bought it. I don't know you for whatever reason. It's like
So I'm just,
you're using that one game.
I know, and it's like.
You don't ever use it in like Sword and
Plus,
Shield.
I
you
never.
used it in, like,
This was the game that introduced the concept of not like the Pokemon showing up in the grass, as opposed to
Yeah.
you wander into the grass and then they show up, which
But you
isn't
still-
the
you still
worst
want the grass
innovation to
find
the
that thing.
Pokemon series, but I always found was kind of weird. But that's mostly because I grew up with the series and this was just such a drastic thing. But
You know,
yeah, I
said
can't think of a
I
single.
have played it.
Well, you have. I know you have played it. You've played a lot of Pokemon games.
Can I just say? Can I say I haven't played it?
No, you may not. It is on the record that Necro Link Kitty is a Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee simp, and you will live in infamy for it. So, yeah, I can't think of a single thing this game did that was any good or, anything about it. It's just it's a Pokemon Go port.
Green. That's the only good thing they did was they add like what the.
Oh, Green's in, and then we got an S tier of this game.
No.
I'm joking. I'll joke as much as I want, damn it. All right, but yeah, all in all, just bad game. But yeah, there's the tier list, everybody. Of
I
course,
feel like Eevee is like baby's first Pokemon game.
yeah, basically it's just for it's
It's for kids. I think it serves that purpose well, but I don't think it compares to any of these other games.
that's you know what? For that reason alone, I'm gonna put it above Diamond and Pearl, just to spite Diamond and Pearl some more. All right, well that is the tier list, everybody. Thank you very much. I do have this other game. You guys can't see it, but the people at home will be able to see it. They'll understand why I'm putting this in S tier, but everyone understands why this game is S tier, and probably better than all the rest. But that's
Is it Battle Revolution?
no, but it could be. But anyway, thank you everybody at home for watching this crazy tier list thing. If you want to cry about it in the comments, go right ahead. Or if you want to, exonerate it, do the same. I think it's pretty good. We didn't. We went through everything pretty well. We didn't we didn't just put our favorite games up top. Well, I tried not to. You can't say I didn't try not to put my favorite games up there. I didn't. I tried, damn it. But yeah, and thank you everybody for joining me for this. XC, of course, is here. Shamario is here, and Necro is here, who is a Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Simp. And, you know, thank you for watching. Don't forget the likes and the...
I only had Pikachu, I think, so I had.
He didn't even have Pikachu.
Oh.
Terrible.
They did. I don't know, I had something.
But yes, thanks for watching, everybody at home. Next time we do one of these, we're going to be doing a tier list of all the Pokemon fan games, so that XE can explain why other people's fan games are not as good as
You know how
his.
many fan games there are in the world, Memphis? My
I'm
God,
just saying that we need to have XE explain why Pokemon Uranium is garbage tier and you know stuff of that nature. So yeah, we're gonna be we'll figure that out. I'll have to figure out how to make my own template with this site, but we'll get into that next time.